gentlemen, listen, you see the second DJ from the party last night? Can we just give him a standing ovation? No, for real, for real, for real. We need to give that person a standing ovation. That guy turned that party into a madhouse. Yes, that was what it was. He turned it into a madhouse. All the housemates were literally moving mad. They all removed their shoes with the exception of Dede and Sultana, of course, but they all removed their shoes. They were raving mad in a good way. And it was so infectious, guys. Right from where I was sat, watching these housemates partying, I did not know when I started moving my body. It was that good. It was that good. For real. Now, that DJ was unhinged. The DJ was insane. Sick, mad vibes all through and through for over an hour. That was insane. The tracks were just coming back to back, back to back. And see, yeah, when you want to know a DJ that is really prepared, when they play a song, they don't wait for it to finish. Oh. See, they play the song 10, 20 seconds, boom, they switch to the other one, boom, they switch to the other one. So this DJ was back to back ready. And there was never a dull moment. It was insane. See, looking at housemates who would normally, be dancing classically, the likes of Dede, Thelma, Mide. Ladies and gentlemen, did you see how they lost their home training? These people lost their home training. They were literally jumping. They were shaking their heads like they were dancing to rock music. It was insane, but it was fun at the same time, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was thoroughly entertained. And I think this is the first DJ that gave us something close to what DJ Flo gave us, if not even better. But I don't want to do too much of comparisons here, but this DJ was just amazing. Amazing DJ. I don't know his name, but whoever he is, Oga, thank you. You sabi walk. You sabi the walk. You sabi the thing. And ladies and gentlemen, aside from the DJ, the housemates understood the assignment. Yes, I mean, of course, all thanks to the DJ's seriousness and his preparedness, right? The housemates, all they needed to do was to just match his vibe, match his energy. And the energy last night during the party was over 1,000, over 1,000. Everything was electrifying. I loved it. I thoroughly enjoyed it, to the point that even when the party ended and Big Brother announced that the house needed to go back into the house, I said, no, I wanted to see them continue partying because it was just an amazing experience. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, aside from the housemates who were, of course, obviously enjoying themselves, I did not seem to understand why Dede decided to lock himself somewhere. I know that Kebobo has been sick since Friday, and that was why he did not join them at the party. But Dede, what was going on? Was he missing Doris that much? Because it was kind of weird. The guy literally hid himself behind the bar. And even when they were playing some very nice Igbo music, some of the guys went to go and, give him the usual Igbo handshake, and his energy was just mad. What was going on? But anyways, not to focus too much on him. Speaking about outfits, all the housemates were looking amazing. I loved what they were all wearing. I particularly loved Menson's two-piece. Yes, his suit two-piece. I loved it. That guy really looks like a classic man. I totally loved it. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, the party was a hit. It was amazing. Yes. But aside the party, there were one or two conversations that happened after the party. And so we're going to get into the video proper right now. And then we're going to analyze those conversations, all right? But before we do that, hey, you're all specially welcome to my channel. My name is Gloria Elijah. This is Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah, and I am the girl with the tea. Of course, there's a lot of tea here to be spilled today. So please make sure you watch this video to the end. Don't skip out in any part, all right? And yeah, let's get right into it. Now, immediately after the party, majority of the house was tipsy. Okay, now, immediately after the party, majority of the house was tipsy, especially the girls. they were tipsy. Apparently, they had all had 3 shots of alcohol each. And so those of them that were quite lightheaded were already tipsy. There was the likes of, what's her name now? Dede. There was also, was Joanna also kind of tipsy? Not really sure. But Dede is literally almost tipsy. Like, I think she's tipsy like almost every party, after every party. But anyways, some of them were in the lounge. There was Dede and Coin just having random conversations. There was Joanna and Faith. They were also having conversations, you know, in the lounge. And just out of the blues, Dede started confronting Faith over the issue they had on Friday, you know, during their wager rehearsals. And Faith was sort of taken aback. So she was telling Faith that, oh, that was fucked up, that they had an argument upstairs and Faith ran downstairs to come and report her to Jason J. That why would he do such a thing? So Faith was like, no, that he did not come downstairs to come and report to Jason J. That he came downstairs because he was quite upset with the statement that she made, because he felt like she made a very selfish statement and she was wrong at the end of the day, because by the time they were done presenting the wager, she realized that she was wrong and she had not read the script. So Dede now, I mean, it was a back and forth between both of them. Dede was going on and Faith was telling her, no, you were wrong. Admit you were wrong. Admit you were wrong. So they were just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it was kind of getting serious because, of course, they had a bit of alcohol in their system, right? So nobody was backing down. Dede was really heavy on trying to prove her point. Faith, on the other hand, was standing his ground. He was not budging. For him, she was wrong. She had to accept that she was wrong. And Coin was trying to, you know, get in between them, just like, oh, guys, calm down now. We just came back from the party. Calm down. But anyways, they were able to, you know, cut it out. And Joanna suggested to Faith that they move elsewhere to continue their conversation, whilst Dede remained there with Coin. So I found that scene quite funny, because for me, I felt like, okay, hold on a second. When this whole thing happened on Friday, Dede did not react. Like, she literally just went to the dressing area to go and sit down, like she was just tired, that she wanted to sleep. She didn't react. So why? Okay, let's just blame it on the alcohol, right? Because it seemed like everything she wanted to say, the alcohol was literally helping her to push it all out. Because that was exactly what she was doing. Because I was wondering, like, why didn't you speak your mind since? You now had to wait till midnight after the party for you to come and speak your mind. But anyways, that happened and everything was fine. The good thing is they both let it off their chest, and that was that. Now, there was a conversation between Kola and Imisi in the garden. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure by now we're all aware that yesterday, Saturday, Imisi had finally returned back all the kitchen utensils that she seized from the kitchen. I've done several videos about this matter where I told you all that Imisi had packed all the kitchen utensils and had hidden them in one of her boxes and had locked the box with a code. Yeah. So, yesterday, she had returned the spoons, in fact, all the utensils back to the kitchen. Now, what a lot of people did not understand was that it wasn't entirely because Big Brother had called her to the diary room and had instructed her to return them back to the kitchen. No. There was a reason why she became restless, why she felt the need to return those things. Imisi was hungry. She wanted to eat. She wanted to cook something. And so she knew that she needed those utensils to cook. So what did she do? She started fretting, right? And then talking to Kola about it. And that was when Kola was like, okay, fine, that she should go ahead and remove it from her box. He was going to stand on the lookout for her. So when she removed the entire bag, like the entire bag of all the utensils, kept it on a box in the dressing area, she left it there first and was walking around. I think that was when Big Brother called her to the diary room. She went, he probably told her whatever he wanted to tell her. Then she came back and then she now carried the utensils and took it back to the kitchen. Ladies and gentlemen, the point here is that she felt the need first to return those utensils because she was also suffering from her own foolishness. I'm sorry to say, but that was what it was. She was also suffering from her actions. Yeah, she was also suffering from her actions. Because how was she going to cook her food anyways? Was she going to use her palm? Just like she said that, oh, everybody had to use their palms to eat in the house. Was she going to use her palm to stir the pot of food that she wanted to cook? So she was being affected. Kola too was getting affected because that one too, Mama Imisi, anything you cook, I will eat. So she was getting affected. And she knew that, okay, she had to return those things. And that was what really birthed the need for her to go and return those utensils back to the kitchen. Now, the part that really got me, the part that really got me was the fact that she put her unused sanitary pads straight out of the box or out of the pack. She put them inside the same nylon bag where she put those utensils. Make it make sense, because I saw people saying that, oh, at least it's unused sanitary pads, it's clean, it's not dirty. And I'm thinking, wow, so maybe you people actually remove your panties from your houses and then you put it inside your plates and your pots in your house, and then you cover it and you leave it there in the pantry. Maybe that's how some of you people live. Because make it make sense. How? Why in the first place? Why? See, there are certain things that you hear and it's just cringe. It's just cringe. It was okay that she put the utensils in a bag. In fact, I think it was a double bag. It was okay that she put it in the bag, but why did she put unused sanitary pads? See, the sanitary pads, right? Like, you know, when you open the box of sanitary pads, you can remove them individually, right? So it wasn't like the box of the sanitary pads that was inside that bag. She had removed the sanitary pads individually and she had put it inside the bag with the utensils. The question is why? Why? That is diabolical. For me, seeing that, it was just the same as Sultana peeing in Dede's box. Because why? Why? In a general house where people are going to use those things to cook, to eat, the question again is why? Game or no game, why? Is it that we don't know what sanitary pads are used for? Is it that we don't know what kitchen utensils are used for? These things are two separate items. Kitchen utensils are meant for what goes into your mouth, what goes into your stomach, what goes into your body. Sanitary pads are for your intimate areas to get out those toxins and those unwanted necessities or whatever they are from inside your body, to get it all out. So one controls what goes inside your body, the other one controls what comes out of your body. So make it make sense how this girl thought it reasonable to put those two things together in the same bag. And then we had some unhinged people come and say, oh, the sanitary pads were clean. The people that said that there was nothing wrong with that, people are dirty, people are unhinged people. That's why people are. Because it does not make sense. The fuck? Now, that whole situation had happened yesterday evening before the party. And so when it was happening, Kola had been acting like he was quite upset with Imisi, whereas he was the one that was on the lookout for her to bring out those things from her box and return them back to the kitchen. But anyways, after the party, both of them were having a conversation in the garden on the swing. And God, Imisi was telling so much lies. Imisi claimed that it was Isabella that told her to seize the kitchen utensils and hide them. I don't know how true it is because, of course, the camera does not show us everything. But the reason I doubt that is because, remember on Friday, when Coin had gone to Isabella to cajole her to go and tell Imisi to release the utensils, Imisi had been very upset with Isabella, telling Isabella that, oh, I don't want to regret taking you along with my plans. Allow me to do what I want to do. I want to do what I want to do. She had owned it. Guys, it was very obvious that she did it off her own volition. So her telling Kola that Isabella told her to do it, guys, I did not believe it because it was so contradictory to the details of events that we had seen that Thursday and Friday. But then she had gone ahead to say that. And she had also said that, oh, she was really hurt, that Kola did not want to see things from her own perspective, that Kola, Mide, and Bright, they were not seeing things from her own perspectives, that they were taking Thelma's side, that what was really hurting her the most was that Kola did not see her reason. And what was her reason for doing what she wanted to do? She said, oh, Thelma did not give her alcohol to drink, which was another bloody lie. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we all know that the reason Imisi and Thelma did what they did was because they had a plan to steal alcohol at the pool party. But Thelma thwarted that plan. I don't know if Thelma was aware because they were having that conversation close to the head of house lounge and Thelma was inside. So I'm not sure if Thelma was aware that that was their plans. But the fact that Thelma took over the drinks, servings, during the pool party, it completely sabotaged all of their plans. And that was the reason they were upset and they were trying to disrupt the flow of activities so that they could still, achieve their goal of stealing alcohol. So Imisi was not being honest with Kola in their conversation last night. Her saying that, oh, it was because they did not give her alcohol, they did not give her drink was a lie. I even saw where, what's it called now? I saw that the organizers, on one of their socials, the way they narrated the story too, they said, oh, when Imisi was not giving her shots, she got really angry. That is not the reason. These girls had a plan. But Thelma destroyed their plans. So they were upset about it. It wasn't necessarily because Thelma did not give them shots. No. They were already trying to destroy things. They were already trying to disrupt the flow of activities at the pool party. So Thelma was standing on our authority as the head of house to try to bring back decorum. They did not want that decorum. They wanted chaos. That was their plan all along. So this thing that she was saying that Thelma did not give her drinks, that was a lie, a blatant lie. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a lie. And it's a fact that she's lying. But anyways, she was saying all of those things to Kola, and guys, to be honest, I don't even understand what Kola was doing, but obviously he was believing everything she was saying because he wanted to believe her. And then she went on to say that, oh, she's very obsessive, she's an obsessive friend, that when she has a friend, she's very obsessed with them, that currently she's obsessed with Kola and Isabella, and that's the reason she's always upset whenever she sees Kola with Dede and Isabella with Sultana. That when she has friends, she wants her friends all to herself. And Kola was saying that, oh, now I understand you. Now I understand you. I'm like, oh my God. What do you understand, Kola? What do you understand? But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, Imisi decided last night that she was going to be marking a territory around Kola. So last night, it was all about Kola, 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 singing Kola's name, Kola, 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 following Kola around the kitchen. And Kola, of course, probably was enjoying the attention. And although he kind of had this countenance of, oh my God, I'm tired, this girl is just pestering me. But ladies and gentlemen, you and I know that Kola was enjoying all of that attention. Because for Kola, anything that will put him in the spotlight, anything that will give him highlights, Kola is all for it. So it wasn't like he was completely perturbed by Imisi's pesterings. No, Kola was definitely enjoying all of that attention. And for him, he would rather it continue that way than to not even have it at all. Because for him, that is the essence of being in Big Brother's house. He needs to be in the highlight, or rather, he needs to be in the spotlight, and he needs the highlights on a daily basis. Now, in a conversation between Bright and Mide, Mide explains to Bright that ever since Dede returned from her fake eviction, Dede has changed towards her positively. Now remember, before the eviction, they had this rift between them based on the question Ibuka had asked Mide during one of the live eviction shows. And they had not really been on talking terms. There was a strain in their friendship. So Dede had returned back to the house and had realized that, oh, she had actually lost everybody in her corner. And if Kiers was not taken, she would be alone in the house. because obviously Joanna was growing stronger in her bond with Faith. So there was no guarantee that Joanna would be by her side all the time. Joanna too had realized that Faith was the only person she had in her corner in that house. And so she had started sticking to Faith instead of dancing around with Jason all the time during the parties. So I think I actually mentioned all of this during one of my analysis that Dede now has seen the need to revive her friendships with Kola and Mide, and that was exactly what she did. So Mide was explaining all of this to Bright Morgan, and of course, guys, as usual, Bright Morgan was the one that actually asked the question. I mean, every time he and Mide are together, he's always asking for updates about Dede from Mide. And Mide too, wow, will open her mouth and be spilling and spilling and spilling. So she said all of that they kind of talked, and it wasn't like they actually addressed the elephant in the room, but during one of the painting games that they had on Friday, you know, that was where they had just a small talk. And now they are cool, they are good, and they just talk randomly, no tension anymore. Now they are good. And they also proceeded to talk about culture, and Bright was very certain that culture is a snitch. Anything you tell him or anything he hears, he would always look for a way to spin the narrative and tell it to multiple other people in the house. And Mide also agreed, you know, saying that the worst of it all is that whatever he hears, he never exactly tells the story the way it is. Instead, he would add spices, he would spin everything around and then spread that information around. And guys, listening to those two, I was just laughing because I'm thinking it is no longer news that culture is a snitch. Culture is responsible for most of the misconstrued narratives about people in that house. But the question is, why are these housemates not confronting him? Why are they not doing things to sabotage his game? Why are they not mixing up information, sharing those information with him, and then watching him burn whilst he's trying to do his usual? Why are they just letting him slide? Because you see, this is very frustrating about these housemates this season. Some of them are so good at analyzing what other people are doing, but you will never see them take any action. You will never see them do anything about it. They just sit down and analyze, and that is where it ends. Anyways, finally, for this video, Kola had a conversation with Mide and Thelma late last night. So, based on the conversation he had with Imisi, where she was trying to explain herself, why she did what she did, blah, 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 it was more like an intercession on behalf of Imisi, him talking to Mide and Thelma. He was telling them that Imisi did not mean what she did, blah, 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 that Isabella was not insulting Mide, calling her an hermaphrodite, that Isabella was actually insulting Joanna, which is quite weird. And I love the fact that Mide and Thelma clocked that quickly, because they were like, no, Isabella does not have issues with Joanna. The two people that Isabella has issues with in that house currently are both of them. So all of those things that Isabella called them on Thursday, Mide was the one that was right there when she was saying most of the things that she was saying. So she was actually referring to Mide. But then Kola was still trying to make a case for Imisi, was still trying to defend Imisi, talking about, oh, they should just give us some grace, And guys, be quite honest with all of you, I got really tired of the conversation because it was very obvious that Kola knew the truth about what Imisi was doing. But let's not forget that Kola also has his game to secure. So he will do whatever it takes to perfect his role as that friend that will forever condone the excesses of his very weird and unscrupulous friend. And that is the role he's playing. And even though Mide and Thelma sees through that, the guy is still unbothered. For him, he's still actively playing his role. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to stop talking here because I would love to hear from all of you, your opinions, your thoughts about all I have shared on this video. So please go ahead and share in the comment section below. I'll see you guys on another episode of Frankly Speaking with Elijah. Thanks for watching. Have an amazing day. Bye.